So, okay, Nayara, let's begin. Today is our review. Today is our review day 2. Okay, we are going to do page 83 and finish our review of unit 11 and 12, and then that's it. Next class is just the final test. Okay, Nayara. But let me see the tests to see if you have to give anything. Do you have the presentations? Do you have everything done? Let me check it out. Just a moment. Just a second. So let me share this with you. Oh, hi, Nayara. Oh, there is only one project missing here. Project 2. You haven't done. Oh, yeah, that's it. Only project 2. So, are you going to present project 2 together with the final project? Yes? Project 2 is about units 4, 5, and 6.
Eu acho que apresentei, sim.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember, Nayara. I will try to find here. I will look for that here, and then I will see, because I don't have the file. Okay?
Okay.
See if you have the file there. Look for the file, see if you find it, and then if you find the presentation, you tell me, okay? Because I looked for the file here and I couldn't find. Okay? But let's see. If you have it, it's okay. But I looked all my documents here, and I looked over all my documents and I didn't find it. But let's see, no problem. Okay, let's see. Okay, Narinha. So this is our last page of the book, page 83. Can you see that? Yes, can you visualize
Yes.
that? Good. So let's see. Look at the article. What is the purpose of the article? Let me try to. What do you think is the purpose of this article?
Invenção.
It's an invention. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's a kind of invention. hmm And it's a crazy invention. A car pulling a horse? It's crazy, right? It is really crazy. How can this thing work? So, so let's read this, guys. A patent is a government document that says you are the inventor of a gadget. What's the meaning of a gadget? Do you remember? A gadget is
Mm,
any kind of electronic equipment that is not so big, something small. So it's a gadget, okay? So a patent, it's like in Portuguese, okay? A patent is like a document that says that it's officially, it officially states that the person is the inventor of a gadget, of something, okay? A device or an idea. The world's most famous inventor, Thomas Edison, owned over um, 1,000 patents. Did you know that? Hi, Shayani. Good morning. Good to see you. Hey, how's it going, Jayani? So we are doing page 83, okay? The last page. It's the second day of review. So the world's most famous inventor, Thomas Edison, owned over 1,000 patents. Many of these patents were for breakthroughs that changed our world. So, what is a breakthrough? A breakthrough is a discovery, a new discovery. Okay, it's a breakthrough. Like the light bulb. The light bulb is what we have in our houses that illuminate our houses. Okay, so the light bulb. Thomas Edison, he invented the light bulb. The world's most prolific inventor is an Australian man named Kia Silverbrook. Prolific. What is the meaning of prolific? Prolific is a person who does many things. So when we say prolific inventor, is a person who invented a lot of things, or a person who has the most number of patents. Thomas Edison had over 1,000, but this guy here, Kia Silverbrook, he has over 3,000 patents. So he was prolific, okay? More than anyone in the world. His patents are related to printers, including a tiny printer in a phone. Wow. So he liked to invent printers. Okay. All right. If Edison was the most famous inventor and Silverbrook is the most prolific, then the strangest inventor must have been a British man named Arthur Patrick. Patrick patented over 160 peculiar contraptions. So here we have the vocabulary from our lesson. You remember the meaning of contraptions, right? What is a contraption? Do you remember? A contraption is a strange invention, okay? Something weird, something strange, okay? So he invented over 160 peculiar contraptions in the 1960s and 1970s, or in the 60s and 70s. He invented a bicycle you could ride underwater, a golf ball you could steer in the air. Steer, guys, is the same as a golf ball that you could change the direction in the air, and a machine that shoots snowballs. Imagine, because they like to play with snowballs. So, from Antarctica to the Australian desert. Some of Padraig's creations sound like jokes, of course, or even hoaxes. Do you remember the meaning of hoaxes? Hoaxes are like um, fake, fake things that they are not true. They are fake. Okay, uh, like a horse-powered automobile, like this one here. Okay, a car you drive from the back seat. Another thing that is a hoax, or a flying saucer. A flying saucer is like the one you see in the sky and you associate with ETs, right? So a flying saucer. In his patent applications, he often talks about his cat, Ginger. Ginger, sorry. However, Padraig couldn't have been crazy. He had worked in the UK's patent office. So here they don't believe he was crazy because he worked in the UK's patent office. He gave clear explanations for everything. Okay, so he gave explanation for his inventions, and his ideas were based on real scientific theories and phenomena. So everything he invented had scientific explanations. Although Patrick's inventions could have worked, none of them were ever actually made into products. So they never materialized. Okay, of course, they're crazy. If he had tried to produce them, it would have cost billions of dollars. Also, if he tried to sell them, he might not have found many buyers. Finally, Patrick's wife got tired of all the equipment in the house and told her husband to stop inventing. Just imagine, people, if she hadn't stopped him, what else would Patrick have invented? The guy is completely crazy. Actually, he was completely crazy. So, here, guys, we have highlighted some vocabulary from the lessons, right? As you can see here, we have vocabulary from units 10, 11, 12, and we have in green examples of the third conditional. This is what we are going to see now, okay? So this is really nice. Hey guys. Vou tomar café. So let's go. Now let's try to answer the questions quickly. Sorry guys. Just a moment. Sorry. So, wow, I'm bad today. I'm not so good. So, question number one, what inventors does the article mention? How are they different? So, let's see here. They are all highlighted, people. Look, the answers are all here. The first one, Thomas Edison. The second one, Kia Silverbrook. And the third one, Arthur Patrick. Very simple. You just have to put them here. Okay. How are they different? Thomas Edison was the most famous. Kia Silverbrook, he has a lot of patents. Okay. The world's most prolific. So Thomas Edison, the world's most famous. Kia Silverbrook, the world's most prolific. So let's highlight this so you know. Most famous, most prolific, and Arthur Patrick, most peculiar. Okay. So this guy here is the craziest, of course. He has invented the most peculiar contraptions. Okay. These are the differences among them. Most famous, most prolific, most peculiar. Okay. What are three of Arthur Patrick's inventions? They are here. A bicycle, you could ride on the water. A golf ball, you could steer in the air, and a machine that shoots snowballs. Okay. They are here. Does the writer of the article think Patrick is crazy? Here, no. He says here, Patrick couldn't have been crazy. Why? Because he gave clear explanations for everything. That's the reason, okay? He gave clear explanations for everything. Okay, that's done. And this is the last one, and it's a very stupid question. Would you use any of Patrick's inventions? Of course not. Never. Okay. Okay, guys, so we are done with this page. Hey guys, do you have any questions about this page? No? Is everything okay? All right, can we close that? Okay, good. So Today we are going to review units 11 and 12. So let me open up the file. Let me drink some water. Did you do the exercises about past modals of deduction? No, not yet. Okay, no problem. Let me just take a picture here. Sorry, guys. Let me just save the picture, okay, guys? And then we go on. Just a second. Oh, it's July already. July 1st. Time flies. It really flies. So let's check it out. Okie dokie, guys. So, Unit 11. We are done with Unit 10. Now, let's see the topics of Unit 11. What is it all about, people? Can you see that? Unit 11 is about the third conditional. How do we form the third conditional and when do we use it? So we use the third conditional to talk about hypothetical situation in the past. Usually we make comments about the past. We imagine a different scenario. The situation happened already, but we are trying to imagine a different scenario, a different outcome. Okay, let me explain here. Imagine um, I didn't go, suppose, okay, guys, I didn't take my vaccine. Suppose, okay? Um, and then I got sick with COVID. So suppose this is what happened, okay? Let's see, imagine this is what happened. I don't know if I have this because I have allergy, I have rhinitis, and I have sinus. So I don't think I have COVID. I think I have a cold now, okay? And this is what I have. I have a strong sinus infection and I have a cold and I have allergy. I have a strong allergy. And I took my vaccine. I was vaccinated. I took the first shot. But let's suppose I didn't take my vaccine and I tested positive. Okay? Let's see. So let's put here. right, let's see. This is what happened. So if this situation happened, okay, now I could say, um, I could talk about it using the third conditional. I could make a sentence like this. Can you visualize that? I could say, for example, now in a situation like feeling sorry, I could say, if I had taken, if I had taken my vaccine, I wouldn't have tested positive for COVID. So now I'm feeling super sorry that I tested positive, and I'm saying now, oh, if I had taken my vaccine, I wouldn't have tested positive for COVID. But now I feel so sorry. I didn't take my vaccine and I tested positive. But now it's too late. But now it's too late. Now it's too late. Now I have to do the treatment. I have to go to hospital. Okay, guys. So now this is what we call the third conditional. It's when I make a comment about a past situation that happened and I can't do anything to change. And to do this, guys, I have to use the past perfect. I need to use had. Okay, so let's put the construction here. The formula if plus had plus past participle. This is the first part. The second part is going to be would plus have plus, of course, guys, can be would or wouldn't, okay? Plus have plus past participle, okay? Here, this is what I need. I need to have two sentences or two clauses. One clause, which is the if clause, I need to have the auxiliary verb had and another verb in the past participle. It's always like this. The other clause, I need to have a modal verb, would or would not, wouldn't, plus auxiliary verb have, plus another verb in the past participle. Oh, can I change the modal verb? Can I put could? Yes, you can. So here, let me put here an arrow and say that instead of would, I can say, let me put here, wouldn't or could or couldn't or should, shouldn't. Okay, people. So let me see. Oh, might. These are the possibilities. Okay, great. most of the times we use would or wouldn't. Okay, most of the times. This is the most common. Okay, so let me save this. Let's do the first one. Let's go. Because Walter didn't know the city well, he got lost every day during his vacation. So now let's imagine a different situation. Okay, let's see. If Walter, it's the beginning already. So if Walter we have to use if plus had, right? So if Walter had, now what is the verb? No. I have to use know in the past participle. So had known. Okay. So if Walter had known the city well, comma, now the subject, he, now I have to use would plus the auxiliary. So here, he got lost. It's affirmative. So I have to use, when it's affirmative, I have to use the negative. I have to invert. When the sentence, when the original sentence is affirmative, I have to use the third conditional in the negative because it's another scenario. So if he had known the city well, he wouldn't now have, now past participle, the verb get in the past participle. He wouldn't have gotten lost every day during his vacation. So you don't need to copy everything, but let's just put reticences, okay? If Walter had known the city well, he wouldn't have gotten lost every day during his vacation. But unfortunately, he didn't know the city well and he got lost. Okay? All right, Shayani. Okay, Nayara. All
Okay.
right. Good. Okay, Amanda. All right. Now let's do the next one together. Because I studied a lot, I did very well in Spanish. Because I studied a lot, I did very well in Spanish. So now let's do this one. Here, the first part is affirmative. So we have to start with negatives. So if I, auxiliary verb, had, negative. So let's do it. If I, because the original sentence is affirmative. So I need to put the auxiliary here in the negative. Okay, let me put it down here. If I hadn't, now past participle, the verb is study. In the past participle is studied because it's regular. So if I is already here, so if I hadn't studied a lot, comma, I, now the sentence is affirmative. So I have to use negative. So I have to put would in the negative. So I wouldn't, now auxiliary, have, have. I wouldn't have what? The verb here is the verb do, because here it's in the past, did. So did very well. So it's the verb do very well. So how is the verb do in the past participle? Done. So I wouldn't have done very well, okay, in Spanish class. And then that's it. Okay. So if I had, if I actually the negative, because I studied a lot, but let's imagine a different scenario. If I hadn't studied a lot, I wouldn't have done very well in Spanish class. But thank God I studied a lot. Okay. All right, people. Number 17. Because Lily moved to the United States, she had to learn English. Oh, that's it. Because Lily moved to the United States, she had to learn English. Okay? So the first part is affirmative. So we have to imagine a different situation. Let's go. If Lily, auxiliary verb, negative. If Lily, let's go. Have to use first this one. Hadn't, the verb move in the past participle. Hadn't moved to the United States. I'm going to abbreviate, okay? So if Lily hadn't moved to the USA, comma, now subject, she, now I have to use the auxiliary would in the negative because the sentence is affirmative in the original sentence. She had to learn English. Because here it says, because Lily moved to the United States, she had to learn English. So here I have to use the auxiliary in the negative. Would becomes wouldn't. She wouldn't, now auxiliary have. This never changes. She wouldn't have now past participle of the verb to have here. The verb have in the past participle is had. Yes, she wouldn't have had, just the same. You just put because have is irregular. She wouldn't have had to learn, the rest you copy. English. Okay, so if Lily hadn't moved, because she moved and she had to learn, but if Lily hadn't moved to the USA, she wouldn't have had to learn English. It's strange, but that's the way it is. Okay, guys, let me move this a little bit to the side because this sentence looks strange because I have two similar verbs together. And this happens because I have here, she had to learn, just because of that. Okay, just because of that. Now, let's try to do number 18, guys. Alisa got an important interview, so she bought some new clothes. So affirmative, affirmative. So let's see. Alisa got an important interview. So here we have if Alisa, affirmative here, negative here. So if Alisa hadn't gotten past participle, okay? An important interview, comma. Now the second part. She, you don't have to use so, okay? If Alisa hadn't gotten an important interview, she, affirmative. So you have to put negative. She wouldn't have now the verb buy in the past participle. But it's the same because it's irregular. She wouldn't have bought some new clothes. Actually here, I just have to change some because some I use for affirmative. And in this case here, the sentence is negative. So I have to put any new clothes. Okay, so if Alicia hadn't gotten an important interview, she wouldn't have bought any new clothes. So just change from some to any when it's negative. Okay, next one. Let me change here. My sister didn't own a car, so she took the bus everywhere. The first sentence is negative, so I'm going to use affirmative, okay? If my sister had, okay, so let's do this. If my sister had, now, past participle, the verb is own. So I have to put this verb in the past participle. Owned, this verb is regular. So if my sister had owned a car, comma, she, now here, she took the bus everywhere. So here it's affirmative. Just a second. Here it's affirmative, so we need to put negative. So she wouldn't have, now the verb take in the past participle, because here it's in the simple past. So how do we make the verb take in the past participle? She wouldn't have taken the bus everywhere. Okay? Because here we have the verb take in the simple past. We need to put in the past participle. Some verbs are regular, so we just copy. But some verbs are irregular. So irregular verbs, they are not always the same. So here, bought is the same, bought. But some verbs are not the same. Had, the same, but not always. Example here, the verb do in the past, did. But in the past participle, done. It's different, okay? So here, own, it's regular. So in the past participle, owned. But here, the verb take, in the past, took. In the past participle, taken, okay? So if my sister had owned a car, she wouldn't have taken the bus everywhere, okay? Let me put here. Next one. Aaron's team didn't win the game, so we were disappointed. So they lost the game, okay? So now we can see that the first one is negative. The second one, it's positive. So we have to do the first one affirmative, okay? So if Aaron's team, let's make it like this. If Aaron's team had, now the verb here is win. How can I make win in the past participle? Won. Okay, so if Aaron's team had won the game, comma, okay, so affirmative because the sentence here is negative. So we are imagining a different scenario, okay? So if Aaron's team had won the game, now the sentence is affirmative, so we have to put negative. We wouldn't have. Now here we have the verb to be. Verb to be in the simple past is like this, but in the past participle is different. How is the verb to be in the past participle? We wouldn't have been disappointed. Okay? So if Aaron's team had won the game, we wouldn't have been disappointed. But unfortunately, this is not what happened. Aaron's team didn't win the game. Sorry. They didn't win the game, so we were disappointed. Okay, people. So let me save this. If you can, take a picture or print screen. Okay. All right, can I clear the annotations? Okay, I'll clear everything and move on to unit 12, okay? Sorry, ouch. Okay, unit 12, guys, is all about reported speech, okay? So let's take a look there. Can you see this? Yeah. So let's see this. Rewrite the sentence in reported speech. So let's see there. He said, Carissa got an apartment to interview the president. Do you remember how to do the reported speech? The reported speech is like this. We have to backshift, okay? Let me put the rule here. I'm going to put on the side, okay? So if the verb of the sentence is in the present simple, okay, then we have to put the reported speech in the past simple when we report, okay? We have to convert the sentence in the reported speech in the past simple, especially because you can notice that we have the introduction like this. He said, he asked me. Alberto told us. You see, asked, said. So usually we have verbs like said, told. So the sentences that are originally in the present, they go to the past. Now, the sentences that are in the past, they go to the past perfect. Yes, auxiliary had and present and past participle. The sentences that are the original sentences that are in the present perfect, that means we are talking about a past situation. They also get reported in the past perfect. Okay. The same idea. The sentences that are in the present continuous, they go to the past continuous, okay? So present continuous, past continuous. Like for example, I am studying now. I am studying now. So if I report, I'm going to say, oh, she said she was studying now, okay? So let's have an example for each one of them. Each one of them. Present simple. I like pizza. So she said she liked pizza. Past simple. I saw the movie yesterday. I saw the movie yesterday. She said she had seen the movie yesterday. She said she had seen the movie yesterday. Now, present perfect. I have read the book. I have read the book. She said she had read the book. She said she had read the book. Present continuous. I am studying now. I am studying now. Reporting. She said she was studying now. She said she was studying now. Okay? Or she was studying then. Okay? So, let's see. Past continuous. Goes to past perfect continuous. I'm going to just abbreviate. So, for example, past continuous is like this. I was running. I was running at 8 o'clock last night, suppose. I was running at 8 o'clock last night. So she said she had been running. Okay, guys. Now the future. I will, oh, sorry. Future simple or simple future. So I'm going to use with would. Okay. So for example, I will um, I will do my test next week. So then she said she would do her test next week. Okay, guys. So, and then we have the other modal verbs. Okay. Can becomes could. So let's go there. Number 15. He said Carissa got an appointment to interview the president. So this is in the simple past, okay? Or past simple. So he said, Carissa, we have to put, if it's in the simple past or past simple, I have to use the past perfect. So Carissa had got an appointment to an interview or to interview the president. Okay. So let me change here, guys. I think it's easier for you to understand. Instead of writing the name of the verb, I'm going to write the examples. I think it's better for you to understand. And here, let me put here, I will put the introduction here, and I will put this second part is the introduction to this, okay? Just to make it easier for you. She said she loved pizza, okay? Just so you know that simple present becomes simple past. Here, past simple. I saw the movie and then it becomes past perfect. She said she had seen. Okay, think it's better. Okay, now here, present perfect. I have read the book. So she said she so have read becomes had read. Okay, now here, present continuous. I'm studying. I'm studying now, and then it becomes past continuous. She said she was studying. Now becomes then. She was studying then. Okay, just to organize it better. Now past continuous. I was sleeping. So she said she had been sleeping. Okay. Now it's better for you. Instead of putting the names of the verbs, I think it's better now. When somebody says, oh, I was sleeping. So she said she had been sleeping. Now future simple. I will have a test. Suppose. Then when you report, she said she would have a test. Okay, she said she would have a test. Can and could. Um, I can do it. I can do it. So she said she could do it. All right, people. Now I think it's much better. Much better now. Okay, I will save this. Let's try to do this before we go. Let's do. Here we have the simple past, and we put here past perfect. Okay, had got. Now number 16, he asked, where is Vincent going for his vacation this summer? Present continuous. Look, present continuous. So we have to put past continuous. So he asked me, it's a question. So we have to, where Vincent, we have to change. We don't keep the question format. Where Vincent, past continuous, was going for his vacation. And then, okay, it's not a question anymore. I just changed from present continuous to past continuous. And I changed from question to affirmative. Okay, it's not question anymore. He asked me where Vincent was going. Number 17, Alberto told us, I have never been so happy in my life. Here, present perfect. So Alberto told us he, now had, I have to change from present perfect to past. He had never been, so I use past perfect. So past perfect is just the auxiliary in the past, had, and the verb in the past participle. He had never been so happy in his life. Okay? In his life. Okay. She asked, "Do you want to watch the news tonight?" So she asked me. When it's a question, guys, yes, no question, we have to use if. Okay? She asked me if I, simple present, simple past. So if I wanted to watch the news tonight. Okay? So we don't use auxiliaries in reported questions. Okay? Now, number 19. The reporter said there will be an interview with the famous. So the reporter said there would. So just that. There would, the verb here is be. So there would be an interview, and then just repeat. You don't have to, you just have to put would and the verb of the sentence. Okay? The reporter said there would be an interview. Now, number 20, the woman said they can't open the theater doors for another 20 minutes. So the woman said they they can't, not can. So I have to use couldn't. They couldn't open because here's the verb open. So they couldn't open the theater door, everything, okay? They couldn't open the theater door for another 20 minutes. That's it. Okay, guys, it's just a matter of when it's a question, if it's a yes, no question, you have to use if and no auxiliaries. If it's an information question, you just have to put the pronoun, the question pronoun, and you put the rest as a statement, not as a question. Okay? No question format. You put the subject and then you put the verb. You don't put the verb before the subject. You put the subject before the verb. All right? So let's save that. Okay, guys. So let me just include one special thing here just to mark that this, guys, she said she is referring to this second part here. Okay. Now it's okay. Good. Okay, guys, to take a picture. Did you take a picture or did you print screen? If you can, please post this in the group for the ones who couldn't make it today. All right. Oh, thank you, Nayara. Thank you so much. All right. So let's stop sharing. And let me take just a final picture so that I can, okay, good. Okay, guys. Oh, thank you so much for coming, people. Thank you, Jayane. Thank you, Nayara. Thank you, Amandinha.
Bye bye.
Oh, bye-bye, people. See you next week, okay? Our test is Tuesday. Bye-bye, girls.